I do see Jonathan back on as well, Madam Chair.
Hello?
Okay.
Yep.
Just,
Let me just check cable.
yeah.
Cable's good?
Cable looks to be back on. Let me just double check.
Yeah, if you can unmute. And then from the thing. Yeah, cable's good, Teresa.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. All right, let's pick up where we are. Sorry, everybody.
Okay.
Never happened before, so thank you, everybody.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, trees, we're proposing 6 new street trees, working with complete street guidelines. You can see the clinic space in the beige color to the corner, the residential lobby in the pink color, building support in the blue, and surface parking to the right-hand side, as well as bike parking for the residents, lower right-hand side of the page. Next slide. This is a quick snapshot of the upper floor units of the building. The 2nd through the 4th floor are fairly typical. The 5th floor does have some step-ins to allow for sort of mitigation of height and mass at the upper floor of the building. Next slide. These are some straight-on view elevations, the corner elevation being at the top where you can see the bold color. That really creates almost like a flat iron look to the building as you get to the intersection of Thorn Street and River Street. The Thorn Street elevation is on the top right-hand side. The passageway is the lower left elevation, and then the River Street more broadly showing that elevation. We're also showing at the base of the River Street building placement for an art mural, which we think could be really nice to bring some cultural art into the facade of the building. Next slide. These are some perspectives that may be easier to understand the overall massing and design of the building. You can see this idea of a very clear delineation of base, middle, and top, where the top floors are stepped in. We also changed the color variation to really reflect the sunlight at that level, a more medium brown and gray toward the body of the building, and an iron spot brick at the base of the building. Next slide. This is a look at the Thorn Street perspective coming down this residential side street. We think the way that the building morphs will really create a complementary character to the residential edge of Thorn Street. And then on top of the podium wall, you can see the outdoor space that's elevated above the parking. And at the ground floor, we've worked hard to really screen the parking so that you don't see the cars from the street. Next slide. This is a view a little bit set back across the way from River Street, where you can see the residential building with the bay windows, and then above the bay windows, roof space, roof terrace space, privatized areas for residential outdoor space, and then a clear look at the residential lobby and the art murals along the street edge. Next slide. I believe that concludes our presentation, and we're happy to take questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Questions or comments from the board? Okay, hearing and seeing none, a motion is in order.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call for a vote. Mr. Monahan?
Aye.
Dr. Landsmark?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Great project.
Thank
Good
you
luck.
very much. Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care.
Very much. Thank you.
All right, number 15. Request authorization to approve the institutional master plan notification form pursuant to Article 80D, Institutional Master Plan Review of the Boston Zoning Code for the renewal and 2-year extension of the Emmanuel College Institutional Master Plan dated May 24th, 2023, and take all related actions. Scott.
Madam Chair, I believe we're just waiting on permissions for Scott because of the technical difficulties, so he should be on in just 1 second.
Okay.
Apologies for that.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Madam Chair, board members, Director Jemison. My name is Sister Ann.
Sister Ann, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have to wait for Scott, who's just joining us just in a moment.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Sorry
you,
for the
Sister
Ann. Where's your dog?
Sorry for the delay. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, Secretary Bohemus, and Director Jemison. My name is Scott Greenhall, and I'm a project assistant with Development Review. The proposal before you this evening is the Emmanuel College Institutional Master Plan for renewal for the years 2023 through 2025. This is a proposed renewal of the existing IMP that was board approved in May of 2012. At this time, Emmanuel College does not anticipate any new institutional projects for the term of the renewed IMP. The college filed an IMPNF notifying their intent to renew on May 26, 2023. The IMPNF was shared with all internal and external stakeholders, and the neighborhood was notified of the filing via email as well as an ad in the Boston Herald dated May 26, 2023. The comment period for this IMP renewal ended June 25, 2023, and no comments have been received during this time. I will now turn it over to Sister Ann Donovan from Emmanuel College to begin the presentation, after which we would be happy to take questions from the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Congratulations on your promotion. My name is Sister Ann Donovan. I was here in 2000 when we did our first master plan, and 2012, and now just a little older, and here we are all over again. Now, next slide, please. Our mission statement is basically to educate students in a dynamic learning community rooted in the liberal arts and sciences and shaped by strong ethical values and so forth. You can read that, but that has been something that the college, we just had our 100th anniversary, and we're still very much into that. Next slide, please. In the foreground of this slide is Emmanuel's campus. The blue line along the bottom you can assume is the Fenway, and you can see we're set in the heart of the Longwood Medical area. Next slide, please. This is a view of each of our buildings. On the left, this is where it's important for us. It's the last bit that we have that we can develop. But parcel B, we did with deal with Merck 2001, and that enabled us to get the money to go co-ed, to change the gymnasium and all that sort of thing. In parcel C in 2012, we leased our alumni hall and the parking garage that went with that and called that parcel C. And with the resources from that, we bought Notre Dame campus. It was from the Anglican sisters sold it to us. It was up in the Fort Point area of Roxbury, and so we call that Notre Dame campus. And then with some of the rest of that money, we bought back parcel A, which is our parking lot and has been all along. And Merck leased parcel A a little bit after they did parcel B, but then decided they didn't want it some more. And so we were then able to buy that lease back from Merck, and they were so generous to have allowed us to park there for nothing for about 9 years. So we were very grateful for that. We have made some renovations to the Cardinal Cushing Library. The Wilkins Science Center went up in 2008, 2009. And, but this area here of what we call the endowment campus is critical for us. Next slide, please. And this, as I said, parcel A is what's important to us, particularly in this. What we're asking for is a 2-year, give us a 2-year time frame to see what is best done with this parcel A. It already was pre-zoned, but it needs its own BPDA, I'm sure, and whatever else. But we do need these 2 years to try to see what would be the best use for this very, very important piece of real estate. in our campus. Next slide, please. St. Julie Hall, this picture up here is what we put up in 2016. It opened in 2018. We rented to Mass College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences 260 beds, so that that helped us to finance this building. And so it's been incredibly successful. The rest of the 692 beds in the place, the rest of them are for Emmanuel students. And you can see they've got a fitness center here. We have a Dunkin' Donuts. They have the Joe D's where the kids can get hot food and take it upstairs. Those things are all, the apartment all have everything that you'd ever want in an apartment. Next slide, please. The additional campus projects, the one we're very, very proud and pleased about, is the Wilkins School of Nursing and Clinical Sciences. One of our alums, the same one that gave us some of the money to do the Wilkins Science Center that we put up in 2008-09, gave us some additional funds so that we could put together a wonderful state-of-the-art nursing school. And so the students are very, very excited about it. And so are we, and we're hoping that those little geniuses passed the nursing exam so that we can say all kinds of good things about new students that are coming. The Carbon Cushing Library, we did some renovation there to give it HVAC and some more work with their School of Education in the classrooms. And Roberto Clemente Field, we have worked with the city in that. We got a grant from the Yawkey Foundation, and the college keeps that up and keeps it for the whole community to use. Next slide, please. Probably don't care too much about all that stuff, but you've been here for a long time. But anyway, that's some of the things that the students do. Next slide, please. More community outreach. It does give, kids are very excited about all that, but we've been here long enough probably. Next slide, please. And these are our facts for about 1,800 students, and we're very pleased with ourselves, and we know that we've got lots more to do, but our students are happy. And I always used to say when I get in an elevator, and I'd say to the kids there, "Do you like it here?" And they would not probably know who I was. And they said, "Yeah, we love it." So anyway, I'll close with that and hope that you will give us that 2-year extension so we can plan some good things for the college, but also for the city and the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Really appreciate the college's presence in our ecosystem of higher learning in the city, and all the contributions your students make. So really excited for you to see what you come up with for that parcel. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing and seeing none, a motion is in order.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call for a vote. Mr. Monahan?
Aye.
Mr. Landsmark?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Cheers.
Mr. Monahan, I'm not sure what happened to Priscilla.
I don't have the agenda in front of me, but I'll get it.
I can probably read the item for you.
Back on.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I don't know, I got removed as a panel, I don't know. We've got, okay, let me go back to item number 16. Wait, yeah, because I didn't finish that. Request authorization to issue a determination waiving further review pursuant to Article 80B Large Project Review of the Boston Zoning Code for the renovation of 164 residential rental units, all of which are affordable, and 33 parking spaces for the Doris Sponge Apartments located at 1990 Columbus Avenue, and to authorize the director to issue a certification of compliance under Section 80B, Large Project Review of the Boston Zoning Code, upon successful completion of the Article 80 review process, and to take all related actions. Emmanuel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, members of the board, Director Jemison and Secretary Polimas. Again, my name is Emmanuel Platt. I'm the project manager here at the BPDA. The proposed project before you is an Article 80 large project at the Doris Bunty Apartments in Roxbury. The project is looking to renovate the Doris Bunty Apartments, formerly known as Walnut Park, a federally supported public housing development for low-income elderly and non-elderly disabled residents owned by the Boston Housing Authority and located at 1990 Columbus Avenue. The building is a 20-story cylindrical structure currently comprising 164 units. The 164 physical units remaining upon completion of the renovations will be 162 project-based voucher subsidized apartments for occupancy by eligible elderly and non-elderly disabled occupants, one unsubsidized employee unit, and one unit to be used for other purposes. Unit interior work will include complete renovation of bathrooms and kitchens, and the project will also include new windows and a new heating and air conditioning system throughout. The project is part of a broader strategy to upgrade and make BHA's deeply affordable subsidized housing sustainable for current residents and future applicants. The proponent filed a project notification form describing the proposed project on February 16, 2023. The notice and PNF were then sent to city's public agencies and elected officials. A scoping session on the proposed project was held with the city's public agencies and elected officials on June 7th of 2023. The BPDA also sponsored and held an IAG meeting on March 17th, 2023, and a public meeting on May 23rd, 2023. To present the proposed project and solicit feedback on it. I'd like to thank the IAG elected officials and the Roxbury community who have worked within the Article 80 process over the last 2 years since that PNF was filed. And I'll now turn it over to Angel Guzman to walk us through the planning context that was considered in reviewing this project before Carolyn Berry from the Boston Housing Authority team begins their presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Camille, and good evening, Treasurer Rojas, Secretary Polimas, and members of the board. The proposed project is located within the planning boundaries of the Roxbury Strategic Master Plan, also known as the RSMP, a strategic framework adopted in 2004 to guide change and economic growth in Roxbury over the next 10 to 20 years. The proposed project, being a property of Boston Housing Authority, originally made significant contributions towards the realization of the RSMP's goals of providing a wide range of housing opportunities and will continue to do so through the application of AMI income thresholds and Section 8 subsidy requirements. Further, the proposed project advances accessibility goals by renovating units and increasing access for elderly and disabled residents. The main review considerations for the proposal focused on site improvements and design review by the urban design and transportation teams. Thank you, and I will now turn it over to the development team to present the project in more detail.
Thank you. So I'm Carolyn Berry. I'm a project manager with the Real Estate Development Department of the Boston Housing Authority. We're really excited to present the Doris Bunty Apartments renovation project tonight. Thank you for having us. Next slide, please. So the Doris Bunty Apartments is, as Camille said, the iconic cylindrical apartment tower right in the heart of Eggleston Square, corner of Washington and Columbus. Next slide, please. The building was designed for the Boston Housing Authority by Richmond and Goldberg architects in 1967. It is designated housing for elderly and non-elderly disabled residents. There's 164 apartments across 19 residential floors of the 20-story building. On the ground floor, there's management offices, security desk, mailboxes, laundry room, et cetera, other amenities. And the BHA will revitalize this building, ensuring its permanent affordability. We'll be enhancing energy efficiency and sustainability goals, and we are incorporating universal design principles for the elderly and non-elderly disabled residents, particularly in our bathroom and kitchen redesign. The building is very much needs to be modernized, and to help generate funding for this, we'll be converting from conventional public housing to Section 8 project-based voucher subsidy. The BHA will, however, continue to own and manage the property, so there'll be no structural changes there. And as was also mentioned, part of the goals of this project is to increase the accessibility units, and there are currently 4, and at the end of the project, there'll be 10. Next slide, please. So the scope of work includes updates to the building and systems, the site, and then the individual apartments. We'll be doing new energy efficient windows, a new roof, modern heating and cooling. The individual apartments will have mini splits for residents to better control their temperature. Some of the site work upgrades include removing an unused, very large outdoor air unit and ductwork, and removing that will allow some additional green space on the property. Next slide, please. The apartments will be completely renovated. New paint, new ceilings, new flooring, completely renovated kitchens and bathrooms. There'll be roll-in showers, grab bars, et cetera. And then, as I mentioned, the new heating and AC system to make residents more comfortable. Next slide. I think this was mentioned about the Roxbury Strategic Master Plan. I'll just go to the next slide, please. So this is the site plan, and Doris Bunty Apartments is located right at the intersection of Washington and Columbus in the heart of Eggleston. The main entrance fronts onto Columbus, and there's a small lawn area there with benches. The rear entrance opens up onto a parking lot accessed by Walnut Park, and then there's a larger lawn with some tables and raised beds on the other side. We'll be adding some additional handicap accessible parking and van drop-off. And one of the goals of this project is to divert activity from the Washington-Columbus corner to the rear parking lot. So things like the ride or trash and recycling pickup, et cetera. So making the parking lot more efficient will help get those activities off of the main street. And we'll be doing some other accessibility upgrades like adjusting the grading on the ramps and walkways, and relocating trash and recycling to a larger pad on the parking lot to get it away from the building for enhanced quality of life. Next slide, please. Elevation. Next slide, please. This is the ground floor, and as part of this, we'll be improving circulation so residents can access the trash room, the community room, et cetera, from the main hallway and elevator lobby. Next slide, please. And then this and the next 2 slides show a typical studio, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom. The round apartment building creates a really unique pizza shape slice of the units. So we have some creative design opportunities here. But a really great feature of this building is that every single apartment has access to a private balcony. And we'll be doing some work on the balconies as well, fixing the concrete, new doorways, et cetera. Next slide is the 1-bedroom, and then the next one is a 2-bedroom apartment. Next slide. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation. Any questions or comments for the board? Well, before we take the vote, I just want to thank you for all the work you did to find a way to finance this and enhance the lives of very valued members of our community. So very excited for them. And with that, a motion is in order.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call for a vote. Mr. Monahan?
Aye.
Dr. Lansmer?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Congratulations. Good luck with the updates.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay. Let's go to item number 18. Request authorization to disperse a total of $352,500 in varying amounts to 16 community organizations in the Dorchester neighborhood. The funds will be dispersed from the Dot Block Community Benefits Fund, maintained by the Boston Redevelopment Authority, doing business as the Boston Planning and Development Agency, from contributions made by the developer to be dedicated to the betterment of the Dorchester neighborhood. Aaron.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Director Jemison, Secretary Paul Hemus, and members of the board. My name is Aaron Hallquist, and I am the Assistant Compliance Manager for our agency. Tonight, I'm proposing the disbursement of community benefit funds secured from the Dot Block project. On May 12, 2016, the BPDA board approved an approximately 388,400 square foot gross square foot mixed-use Dot Block development project, including the construction of approximately 362 residential units, a 5-story above-grade parking garage, and approximately 37,000 gross square feet of retail. On January 31st, 2019, Winter Gold LLC, in collaboration with Samuels and Associates, filed a notice of project change with the BPDA for the Dot Block project, which, as proposed, is planned to comprise approximately 488 residential units, approximately 7 of which are expected to be artist live work units, and 66 of which will be affordable housing units, with a range of income eligibility, in 4 new buildings, approximately 23,000 square feet of neighborhood-oriented retail and restaurant space, approximately 1.34 acres of open space, a below-grade parking garage, and related landscape and streetscape improvements. The BPDA, through local elected officials, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services and Intergovernmental Relations, notified various community organizations about the availability of community benefits from the project. The BPDA notified organizations and publicized the availability of community benefits funds from this project using the BPDA website and social media accounts. The funds are made available through the notification to organizations and an application process open to all. 30 organizations applied for community benefit funding in this funding round. A variety of factors are used by the review committee when scoring applications, including organizational background, experience in the neighborhood, expected outcomes of the program or project, etc. BPDA staff has reviewed the applications of various community organizations and has identified those listed below in this board memo, which you should have handy as recipients of the Dot Block project community benefits. We are looking to distribute out of the 30 community organizations that applied, we'll be distributing funds to 16 various Dorchester-based organizations. With that, I'm happy to take any questions you may have. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? All right, hearing and seeing none, a motion is in order.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call for a vote. Mr. Monahan?
Aye.
Dr. Lansmer?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Thank you. And yeah, looking forward to those community benefits going to Dorchester. Okay, item number 19, personnel. Michael?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, Madam Secretary, and Director Jemison. We have a number of items for your consideration on the BRA agenda with exact details in the board memos. We have one appointment in the Urban Design Department, Yingu Pan, Urban Designer 1. We have 3 status changes. In the Urban Design Department, Kenya Thompson from Urban Designer 1 to Urban Designer 2. Alexa Pinard from Senior Urban Designer, Design Reviewer to Assistant Deputy Director of Design Review. Jill Oakes from Senior Landscape Architect, Public Realm to Assistant Deputy Director of Public Realm. We also have one departure in the Urban Design Department, Michael Canizzo, Director of Urban Design. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board? Hearing and seeing none, a motion is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call for a vote. Mr. Monahan?
Aye.
Dr. Landsmark?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Welcome to the person who's joining us. Congratulations on your promotions. And Mr. Canizzo, you're going to be missed, and just really appreciate all the contributions that you've made to the city during your long tenure of service. All right, item number 20, contractual. I need a motion to pay bills.
I move that we pay our bills.
Second.
Roll call for a vote. Mr. Monahan?
Aye.
Dr. Landsmark?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Please pay the bills. And finally, the director's update. Director Jemison, the floor is yours.
Good evening and thank you. I love to hear Dr. Landsmark say, I vote to pay our bills. It's a signal that I get to come on and join you guys at the end of the meeting. Members of the board, thank you again for your service to the city. I want to provide just a few updates and underline a couple of the key items from tonight. We had 6 new development projects approved, 560 total residential units, of which 96 were income restricted. The cost estimate the developers provided is a total of $1.9 billion worth of development, and the projects represent 2.4 million square feet of development, approximately 656,000 of which were residential square footage. Importantly, when constructed, these projects will put 2,436 tradespeople to work, create over 4,000 jobs directly, and another 1,200 indirect jobs. I think I first wanted to highlight an item that's very important that was voted on tonight. I want to acknowledge that this board has acted to adopt a text amendment incorporating inclusionary zoning in the zoning code. This change gives the city's inclusionary development policy more teeth and locates it in the zoning code, lowering the threshold for projects required to include affordable housing from 10 to 7 units. It also increases the portion of the project that's required to become income restricted from 13% to 17%, with an additional 3% for voucher holders. I highlight this 3% because it represents, it's a little bit different than the other 17%. It represents voucher holders subject to small area rents, which approximate 90 to 100% AMI. And in that way, it helps us get and keep folks who may be having trouble identifying units in the city with their vouchers a chance to find them. The new zoning is also going to allow us to have more family size units in projects, allowing that flexibility. In general, it's a policy that builds on years of innovation by the city in creating mixed income housing and mixed income neighborhoods. Just a few notes, the text amendment will have to be approved by the city council, and once it's approved there, it will go into effect. We estimate to be about 12 to 15 months from its final approval at the zoning commission. I want to highlight a couple of things that have been part of the debate. There have been both folks who have thought and suggested that this program was originally targeted at middle-income households go even deeper in the affordability, and then there were those who thought that the timing of introducing this policy wasn't the right one. I want to be clear in saying we appreciate the robust public dialogue that took place, and we appreciate this board's vote tonight to both step forward towards greater affordability, while also recognizing the particular market conditions of the moment and causing the policy to go into effect 12 months from now, allowing us the time to observe market conditions. I think this is another great step for and leadership for the city towards a more mixed income place for everyone, but it also recognizes that the development industry is part of delivering those solutions and we need to have a feasible policy that works in order to produce the outcomes that both the advocates and the development interests both seek to develop. I'd like to then talk briefly about the Fenway Corners projects. which are numerous. Tonight, with your vote, you have set the wheels in motion for the Fenway Corners development, which was, I think, very well explained and detailed by both the development team and the great BPDA staff who worked on the project, as well as the community voices, both those with concerns as well as those who were speaking both throatedly in support. As you know, it includes 2 PDAs, Fenway Corners North and West, 8 buildings comprising office, lab, retail, restaurant, residential, and daycare space. The team will also be working closely with our team here and at BTD in the upcoming Fenway Transportation Action Plan and provide millions of dollars of transportation improvements in line with that plan. I'd like to highlight that early on, when I had a chance to gather with the team and also to speak with neighbors who were very clear about what they want, there was a common interest in advancing the elements of the project that would help to build the Fenway, but while also deciding together that we would allow the Fenway Kenmore Transportation Action Plan to guide the development of future FAR. That was a decision the development team, the city made together at the request of citizens. And I think, I know it probably seems like it's in the background of the way that this project was approved and discussed tonight, but really it was in the foreground, and it was a key way of prioritizing planning in the evolution and development of a specific large-scale project. It's for us at least, it was a important next step in allowing good development to advance while also recognizing that there needs to be space created for thoughtful planning to make sure that the full vision can be executed. Tonight I wanted to highlight 2 final things that are off agenda but represent the hard work of BPDA board, of the staff here at the agency. Earlier this week, the mayor announced that we would be pursuing, along with our partners at the Mayor's Office of Housing and the Chief Financial Officer's Office, an office to residential conversion program. Hopefully this pilot program will incentivize developers to convert some underutilized office spaces in downtown and the financial district into much needed residential buildings. The CFO has been particularly, along with MOH, particularly innovative and desirous of taking a direct and agile approach to this issue. So we're hoping to have applications available and back into us in the fourth quarter of this year. And it's our desire to hopefully identify the 3 to 5 buildings that can make a huge difference in the way that our financial district feels and bring us much needed housing, meeting some of our affordability and environmental goals at the same time. The study was conducted as part of Plan Downtown, which is reaching a crescendo, and we're expecting to have movement on that plan in the public in August. Finally, I wanted to highlight that the Planning Advisory Council, one of the new initiatives here, is going to be having its first trial meeting next week. The council is staffed by other chiefs working on built environment initiatives, as well as the CFO and others, help us break down silos amongst our departments and help, frankly, help us implement the planning work that we all need to pull together to implement. Together, we're hoping to improve interdepartmental coordination and looking forward to working with everyone involved. Board, tonight was another great board meeting where I think you made the decisions that help us grow this city in a thoughtful and equitable way. Appreciate your hard work and the hard work of all the BPDA staff tonight. And with that, I'd like to pass it back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Jennison. I believe a motion is in order to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call for a vote. Mr. Monahan?
Aye.
Dr. Landsmark?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next month.